If not, I will certainly provide you with the list of the other items that were on there that were requested that we have moved out of the budget. So in looking at the budget overall, if you recall, we have an Alliance District grant. If we did not have that grant, you can be sure that that would be the things in that grant would be what you would be seeing in this presentation. The teacher coaches, I met them all over the district this morning and yesterday. They are working very closely with teachers to change practice, to increase the benefit that our teachers are giving our students. So those kinds of things we have, those are, I'm hoping, a given for the 5 years, this year and 4 more. And so that's why you don't see many of those things in the budget. Those are things that we thought very carefully about when we put them in that grant, and we're counting on the governor and the commissioner to keep those there for the next 4 years after this. But looking at the other programs that are here, we have new programs such as Extended Day and Extended Year. We have all-day kindergarten. This should increase, and the increased use of technology as well. All of those would increase student achievement. Increasing student achievement obviously brings us hopefully from the bottom 30 to the top 30, which is where we belong. This district has the capacity to be in the top 30 of the state. There's no question in my mind. And so certainly we are proud of what we're doing and where we're going, and these are some great pictures of our kids and our different students. So, Mr. Holt?
If I could ask you if you could just expand for one moment on the technology, why technology is so important. We have some deadlines that we have to achieve. I just want to make sure everybody is aware of those deadlines. If you could just go over that.
Thank you, Mr. Hull. I should have mentioned that earlier. In the spring of 2015, March 2015, so 2 years and 2 months from now, our students in grades 3 through 8 and 11 will be doing online testing. Now there will be a longer window for it. It'll probably be March through May. It's supposed to be about a 12-week window so that you can get all your kids in and have them tested. It is adaptive testing. It is all on the computer. Their writing will be done on the computer, which is why we use CBAS Writes, a state program right now, to get feedback on writing. So our students will start to get used to that. We started that last year to do some of that writing. But our students will be doing adaptive testing, so it's one-on-one. It's one student with one computer. Our third graders need to type. One of the areas I didn't highlight was software, and that is in the central office budget on the last page. And that includes a Type to Learn program, which we do use now, and it's a reissuance of that license. And we need to ensure that our third graders can type, that they're not stymied by not able to write their essay or whatever they need to write because they can't find the keys quick enough. It's not a timed test, however. The adaptive testing, if you're in, let's say, mathematics, you'll be given a problem based on the standard that you should know at that grade level. If you do well on that problem, then you might be given one on the next standard and the next standard. If you do not do well on one, you'll probably be given another problem based on that same standard. And if you then are not able to perform on the third problem on the same standard, then you would be given a problem on a standard that would be at a grade level lower than you are at. So it's adaptive. So for every student, the exciting piece is we will get a report that tells you exactly where they are on every standard in the Common Core. And so all of our students and our parents and our teachers will know where every single child is. So it's very exciting. But it may take you, Mr. Hull, 2 hours to go through your mathematics test. It may take me 3.5 hours. And so we need to have computers available, and we need to be able to have students who know how to use them to take these tests. In our elementary schools, we just did a tour with Mayor Apel and Mr. Segan, our new IT director. And one of the things we looked at was the capacity to do that. In some of our schools, we do have a laptop cart that goes around, but they're the small keyboards. And so that means they have a small screen. Students can't read what's on the screen. So they type a sentence, they can't scroll down to read the whole passage or the whole problem, find the problem. And so we need to make sure that we're purchasing technology that students will be able to use with a large screen so they can see everything as well. But we looked at, as we took this tour, the capacity. There is inequity between the schools in terms of our technology. As an example, in most all of the schools, elementary schools, there is a laptop cart. It may be the only thing that they have in terms of a computer lab, or they don't have a full computer lab. This augments it. At Center Road School, our largest elementary school, they have their computer lab. They have no laptop cart. So if anyone in that school wants to use computers, the teachers need to bring the students to that lab, and that is the only place that they can use computers. There's one in each classroom for the teacher. So the technology is absolutely huge. We're looking at different devices to help students make determinations as to what device they use the best, what fits their learning style, etc. So we're trying to load it in there, but very thoughtfully in terms of technology. But the adaptive testing 2 years and 2 months from now is going to be absolutely huge in terms of ensuring that our kids have computers that are usable, that are reliable, and that they know how to use, that they can type.
And the work that we're doing with the town, that we're collaborating on with the town, getting the schools hooked up to the right fiber cable is in support of that as well, to make sure that they can actually take the state test.
Absolutely, that we are in communication with the town constantly in terms of that, and the town realizes what we need to do in testing. So it's a true partnership. The Technology Council, which is the mayor and Mr. Ward, our town administrator, myself and Mr. Picaro, we're talking about the needs of the town, and we are part of the town. So it's very much on the radar.
Thanks. I just wanted to make sure. Other questions for the superintendent on what we've heard, or anything specific on anything within the budget book that you may have had a chance to review overnight? Or your pleasure. Ms. Harden.
Looks like the additional staff would be 4.1. Is that right? If it's 2.5 for kindergarten, 3.2s and an alternative learning teacher, 4.1
4.1.
staff. Okay.
Yes, certified staff, 4.1, correct.
The percentage change is a 3.7% increase, if I'm reading the summary correctly.
Okay.
I'm just confused, Dr. Conway, with apples to apples, in that if there's enough of a decrease to offset the salary obligations, the contractual obligations.
Right. In that particular account, two things. If you went into the budget summary, you'd see that social workers are down 30,000, school psychologists are down 27,000, custodial is down 32,000. And then we've removed the severance from there, another 50,000. Secretarial has put that in central office. We moved some of them last year, but not all of them. And then in early retirement, we've moved those guys. So we've moved things. So that's why the overall account has gone down. So, but the increases are what I was telling you about, was the increases.
So the 3.7% increase in wages and salaries includes the new personnel that you proposed?
Yes, it does.
And current operation?
That's correct. Not benefits, but salary and wages, right?
Mr. Kim.
If the board is going to move into some of the detailed questions, I'd like to go that way right now. And under the budget summary in the second page, on the first line, the temporary salaries that the budget request is $110,000, which is a 120% increase, and it's not so much of the prior year, but as I look at the past 4 years' actuals running average then, it's more than just an increase over last year. It's a very significant increase over what we actually spent over the past 4 years. And I'd like some clarification as to what that need is, given the 4-year history.
Most of those temporary salaries are our summer custodians. There could be others in there as well, and I would have to pull that out, but our summer custodians. And during the 11-12 summer, so the summer of, it was actually the summer of 2011, so when was that? A year ago. We had many of our custodians, we had many people coming in to help us, and I'm not sure who was here to remember all of those details at that point. I mean, I can look it up certainly, and I will do that, but that's generally what it is bringing in the summer custodians and then, and having them work over the summer. And I know that summer that was the summer we did the culinary arts lab. And so our custodians and our maintainers were putting in the work on the culinary arts lab, and so we needed additional people to do floors and cleaning and all of the regular stuff. So we also added a team that went from school to school to school.
Okay, so we weren't transferring funds from one place to another?
No.
No,
well, in the end, the bottom line, obviously, they came from somewhere else because it wasn't budgeted.
Right. I'd like to ask a question on the last line on the same page. In fact, it's the exact opposite here. Where we see for instructional services of the Board of Ed, $180,000, which is $250,000 less than the 4-year running average. So what is the significance?
That's the occupational therapists and the physical therapists that were contracted services through, and that we were told need to be our employees.
Okay, so that is a transfer.
So, right, that is a transfer, right, exactly. And there's a change, it's not a dollar for dollar transfer, because when they were not our employees, they received a higher rate of pay because they did not get benefits under us, they were contracted services. And now that they are contracted with us, their salary, hourly salary is lower, and they have the option of getting health benefits. So it's not a dollar for dollar. You won't see an additional $285 in another area.
I have other questions, but others might want to ask something.
This one?
Just clarification of one of Mr. Kemp's questions, if that's okay. I understood your explanation for the summer of 11, but I don't understand the $60,000 increase for next year.
Right, the temporary salaries, 51, 59. I think Mr. Picard was looking at that as well. Oh, summer school. Summer school. Middle school is $20,000 and the high school is, those are temporary salaries. So it's teachers for summer school for the new programs for the board.
So it's 20,000 for BCS.
Right.